Hello my darlings and welcome. Today I'm going to make a sun catcher to celebrate the summer solstice. Let's do some magical crafting. To start the project, I gathered together a dish full of glass beads in a range of colors from green to yellow to gold to orange to red. I wanted to use colors associated with the sun and creativity, passion, and nature. Litha is a celebration of summer and the sun, so I wanted to incorporate all of the colors of the season. Most of these beads are mismatched, and I really like the quality that creates. These were leftover beads from other jewelry making projects in the past. I organized them in order from green to red and tried to determine how many beads should be in each row to achieve somewhat even lengths. Next, I'm working with a small piece of driftwood, but you can use any piece of found wood or a large dowel as well. I use a marker to draw 8 dots somewhat evenly across the wood. Then I use a small hand drill to drill 8 holes through the driftwood. You could also put your wood in a vise and use a regular drill with a small drill bit. Once I have all 8 holes drilled, I use a small piece of sandpaper to remove any extra pen marks and smooth any bits of wood that chipped away because of the drilling. I'm using jewelry making findings in the next step. These are head pins that I'm putting through the holes and then bending into a loop underneath. If your holes are too large for a head pin, you could add a small bead on top first to make the head portion larger. On the far left and right sides, I'm placing eye pins instead of head pins. This will create a loop on the top and the bottom of the sun catcher so that we can string a piece of ribbon or cording through. I'll do this at the end of the project. Ribbon or cording is one way to hang the sun catcher, but you could also attach chain or looped wire as a hanger if you prefer. Once you have all of your top loops completed, it's time to make some eye pins out of wire. You can also purchase pre-made eye pins to make this project go faster. And an even faster option is to string your beads onto fishing line or very thin cord. But since I don't have pre-made eye pins or fishing line, I spent some time cutting pieces of 20 gauge wire with my jewelry tools. This wire is what I'll make my eye pins out of. The next step is to create a loop at one end of the wire and then put 1 or 2 beads on a wire and close it off with another loop. Continue this process with all of your beads. I find a repetitive crafting task very soothing. It lets me focus on the creative and artistic task at hand and forget about my worries for an hour or two. It creates a quiet moment to reflect on the season and what's important about this portion of the wheel of the year. Litha is a fire festival celebrated on summer solstice, also known as Midsummer. It's a time to celebrate the summer, and one way to do that is to honor sun deities with offerings, rituals, and prayers. Litha is believed to be a time when fairy folk pass into the human world at twilight and offer blessings. I have a separate video on how to keep the fairies happy around your home, and I'll link to it below. Midsummer is a great time to perform magic and rituals associated with fairies or the fair folk. My favorite kind of ritual to perform at Midsummer is one for success. Litha is the time to celebrate work, success, and passion. I use carnelian and citrine for creativity and incorporate topaz and tiger's eye for success spells. I light yellow, green, gold, and red candles, and I'll add honeysuckle, dandelion, or rosemary, or any other herbs that promote success, creativity, and good luck into my magic. There are many more ways to celebrate the season, and if you're interested in learning more, I'll link to a video on that topic below. When making beads for your sun catcher, don't forget to create a bottom bead for each row. You can use eye pins for the bottom bead and just make a single loop at the top, creating a little pendant. This is where the whole project really comes together. Once you have wire loops on each bead, place them in rows again, roughly as you'd like them to be in the finished product. Then begin to connect all of the beads, ending each row with a special bottom bead pendant. Then take each row of beads and attach them to the driftwood. The final step is to add ribbon, cording, chain, or wire to hang your sun catcher. I hope this video gives you some ideas to make your own sun catcher to celebrate the midsummer season, and I hope you have a blessed Litha.